All right, guys, so we had to do this video from the road. We just didn't have time. So you are going to hear a little bit of road noise if you're listening to this via podcast. If you're seeing it on video, you know we're on the road. Just wanted to give you forewarning about that. I liked that we were on 700 acres of this blueberry farm all to ourselves.
Along these roads we roam. We find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello everybody and welcome to Vlogcast episode number 62. My name is Russ.
I'm Carrie.
And we are the roads we roam. We're a couple living full-time in our little guy Max. We do this vlog 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And we have two opportunities where we get to talk to you live. That's Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and again Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. On Saturdays, we have a video we like to call our Faces and Places video. Basically, you get to see the faces and places that we visited over the week and that we've been talking about on these daily vlogs.
Well, today is a treat. I normally say where we are, but we are moving.
We are on exit 27, or we're on mile marker 274 on I-20 in Texas.
That's right. We just packed up and left Abilene. We're heading west, trying to get away from that huge cold front. Yeah. Even though we are way, way better than the majority of the country. So everybody that is in it, stay warm, stay safe, stay inside. Yeah. We'll do the adventuring for you today.
Yeah, we just caught the outer band of it drop down into the 30s the other night. Last night wasn't too bad. No. It didn't get down into freezing. Hey guys, real quick before we go on any further, I wanted to let you know that we have t-shirts available because several of you have asked about t-shirts. Carrie will put the link to that down below. It'll take you right to our store where there's multiple other items you can choose from.
Well, my favorite, one thing that I put in there were the coffee cups.
Yes.
You can't have coffee with Carrie and not have your coffee cup.
I can't wait for ours to get here. They're cool. They've got the logo on one side, and on the back side they have hashtag Road Crew.
Road Crew. I love that. So today we decided, so we are on our way to yet another Harvest Host site. Yep. They are fantastic. I know we've said this before, but just for those quick one-night stays as you're traveling to another destination. And this time we are going, it used to be an Air Force base. Okay. And part of it has been turned into a museum. They have the Hangar 25 Airplane Museum, which one of your favorite places in El Paso. Oh yeah, the War Eagles Museum. The War Eagles Museum. So I'm looking forward to this. You know what's really cool about this one too is that it doesn't cost anything to go in and tour the museum. No, so they just said donation. Yeah, a donation, you know. So that got us, we've talked off and on about the different things about Harvest Host, but we wanted to kind of give a primer that just kind of encompasses everything, because I've had a lot of questions come through via email about them, so hopefully that this will kind of answer everything. Now, the rate used to be $49, now it's $79 a year to join, and when you join, you get access to hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of locations across the U.S. Yep. They're farms, they're wineries, they're museums, they're small businesses. Breweries, yep. Breweries. For an additional $40, you also get access to over 300 golf courses. Now that's something that we decided didn't really work for us because neither one of us golf. Exactly. I mean, if we did, it would be a terrific value. So I'll break it down. You, when you sign up, not only do you get access to that, but you have this agreement that you get to stay, you get to park for free at any of these locations. However, they do ask that you support that business, whether it's buying something in their gift shop, if it's a museum, and they don't have entry fee, or if they are a brewery, you go in and you buy something. So there have been some people that say, well, it's not really free. The way I look at it, though, is, let's say, like, when we went to the museum there in Tallahassee, we got basically the way I look at it is that we paid for an amazing trip through this museum and got a free campsite to boot. Yeah. You know? And that's really how you should look at it. Or the places where you're going to eat when we went to Bayou Teche. Yes. And I really hope I'm saying that right. We would have
Yeah.
So, and with it being one of the football games, having pizza and beer, watching a football game right on site, you can't get better than that.
Yeah, yeah.
But your unit does have to be self-contained, which means they don't want you to have to plug in or spread out and set up camps. So no pop-ups. You can't do the pop-ups. No tents. So you can't.
Really? So you can't have a hybrid? Like if you had a pop-up trailer, you couldn't RV there?
You'd have to ask them.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So
okay.
It should just look like you're parked.
But now if you have slide outs, you can open the slide outs. I have seen those open.
Yeah. And
okay.
You need to stay one night unless the host has agreed. So there have been some instances where we've even been invited by the host if we wanted to stay another night.
Yes, yeah, we've had that happen a couple of times.
But the rule is you stay one night.
Yeah.
And generators, it depends on the location. If you're out on a farm in the middle of nowhere, we've been there where it's not been a problem. But there are some that are in more residential areas that it would be an issue. So again, you have to ask. Don't take it for granted that that's something that you can do. We have stayed at 6 so far.
Okay, so before we go into that, why don't you tell people exactly how it works? How do you set up a night for us to? How do you locate it? How do you set it up? And then what do you do once we get there?
So I go to my app, or you can go to the website and you find a location. So what I typically do is I look at the route where we want to go. And then I look and see if there are any Harvest Host locations along that route. And then if I find one that we want to go to, I call them. You cannot contact them via email. You cannot contact them and book it online. You do have to call them, which I like.
Yeah.
Because you get to ask all the questions.
Exactly. I think you avoid a lot of confusion there because there are a lot of things that they may have a certain area where they want you to park.
Exactly. Or certain times.
Exactly. So it just makes the it makes it a lot easier.
So you call them and you identify yourself as a Harvest Host member, and then you tell them I'm traveling through on this day and I was wondering if you had room for me to stay. Because some locations can only accommodate one person. Some can accommodate a lot. So by calling to check in advance, and we typically done it about a week in advance.
Sometimes we do it the day before, though.
Or the day before.
Yeah.
And some say online that it's okay to do it the day of. But you call them, you ask them if they have any room, and then if they do, then you ask them if there are any special instructions or things that you need to be aware of coming on out. For example, the museum that we are going to today, she gave us a heads up of where to park because on the other side of them there's a business that has semis coming through in the middle of the night. She said you're not going to bother them, but they may bother you, so you want to do that, and also be aware that there is a prison 5 miles down the road. If that's a concern to you, I just wanted you to be aware. So I mean, those are things that you wouldn't see online.
Yeah, that's good information. So now once you've done all that and you arrive, I know that we've had some that are very by the book, where you have to show ID, you have to show Harvest Host numbers, and some that aren't so much by the book. What can you explain to everybody both of those scenarios, how it looks?
So the really laid back ones will just, when we pull up, I'll usually call the contact person as we pull up and ask and let them know that we're there. So that way we're pulling in, we're parking and checking in. Sometimes if you can't get a hold of that person, you just walk into the main office and identify yourself, and they'll just kind of point you in a direction of where to go and park. Some that are a little more formal, which the Tallahassee Museum was, and there's nothing wrong with it, just to make sure you're prepared. Harvest Host will send you an email with a card that has your membership ID number on it. So I have it printed out, I keep it in the vehicle, and they asked us for our member ID number. We haven't been asked to show the card, but you should have it ready just in case.
Just in case, yeah.
And so that way they can kind of keep track that you are who you say you are. Now, I will say that when you sign up, you are also agreeing that you have full coverage and insurance on your vehicles, because the establishment is not responsible for anything that happens to your vehicle while it's there. So that's just, it's in the writing there, but that's something to be aware of. And then, you know, the fun part comes where you're there, you get to go explore the location.
Yeah.
When we went to Island Grove Winery, they invited us in on a tour of their facility, which was fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, we got to see exactly how the wine was made, from picking it to fermenting it to bottling and labeling. It was a really cool experience.
It really was. And then, of course, the Tallahassee Museum was great.
Yeah.
Zolfo Springs, the bee barn. We went in, we purchased some of the little honey and the sweets, but then we got that really cool display of the actual beehive. They've got it with glass on two sides. So
yeah, that was really interesting.
At work. You just don't get stuff like that at a typical campsite. So as Russ said earlier, yes, you do wind up spending money at these things. And on average, Harvest Host said $20 is like the average range of support for that. And less than $20 campsite, and you typically are alone or only a few other people.
Yeah, no, like I said, these are items and experiences that we would typically do anyways. So the $20, like I said, the best way to look at that, if you want to be a stickler, yes, it is not free. However, the way I look at it is I get the experience, or I get the items, or I get some amazing food, and then I get a free campsite. Now,
here's the golf course question. So it's $40 extra.
A year.
A year. Some golf courses will require you to play a round of golf. Some golf courses will require you to buy X amount of dollars. It depends on the golf course.
To buy X amount of dollars? What do you mean by that?
In the pro shop.
Oh, okay, got you. Spend X amount of dollars in the pro shop. Okay.
So those locations should have detailed expectations in the notes section. So if you find a location, you click on the name of the location, it'll give you the GPS coordinates, the phone number, the contact the person that you need, and then any requirements of that location. So that's where your due diligence, so you don't get surprised at any of these
we
locations.
have seen people complain about that in some Facebook posts and stuff, you know, but really the information is all there.
It is. And for us, another reason why we do the Harvest Hosts is for the experiences, since neither one of us is really into golf, and we wouldn't know. They'd probably kick us off the course if we tried to play around. We just decided that add-on
wasn't for us. Yeah, exactly. So I think we've painted a good picture of what you do, how you find it, why we like it. You know, I think maybe it might be interesting to talk about some of our favorite experiences, or maybe favorite ones. What was your favorite one?
My all-around favorite was Island Grove.
Yeah, you know, I will have to admit, I think we had different reasons for it. Me, I liked that we were on 700 acres of this blueberry farm all to ourselves. But what I really liked about that too was, along with having that being isolated and away from nowhere, we had electricity. They just offered it to us free, and they gave us they gave us Wi-Fi for free.
Now, we got lucky with that because we were the only ones. We got offered the electricity.
Exactly.
If there were more people there, then you wouldn't.
Yeah, there's only one plug-in area, so, you know, if there are more, yeah, that's a good point.
But you are allowed to run your generator.
Exactly. Why did you like it? What did you like most about it?
Well, just from the get-go, everybody we've met has been fantastic and very friendly, but they were just so welcoming. I loved the tour. I loved it being educational, learning about it, but then I just loved having the place to ourselves, and it was silent.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see so many stars in the sky at night. The dogs run around. You didn't have to worry about them hurting anything.
you liked the sangria, the blueberry sangria.
And they probably are my favorite wine company right now.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And it's not expensive. It was $12.50 a bottle. So.
Okay, so with that being said, we talked about our favorite. I don't think we've ever had a bad experience at a Harvest Host, but maybe, you know, I have one that sticks out in my mind as my least favorite experience, and now it wasn't for any reason other than weather, you know. And my least favorite experience, even though we had an amazing time there, it was the bee barn. It was so hot and humid that day that we were there, and there were so many bugs out that day that was kind of...
We couldn't get out and enjoy it.
Exactly, but the experience was amazing. You know, the inside the store, the people were fantastic. You know, it was just...
My favorite thing there?
Elements that we couldn't control.
Exactly. So if we went back again, it would probably get bumped up.
Oh, yeah, of course.
My favorite thing that they have there, though, are the little honey sticks.
Oh, yeah.
And they had this vanilla chai honey stick. And I had only bought one because I wasn't sure if I would like it, and now I want to go get it.
I bought those little cones that you put in your ear and you light on fire.
Those are terrifying.
Yeah, it created kind of a big fire. We didn't do a video on that. But,
no, because I was too afraid that the whole trailer was going to burn down. I didn't realize those things are huge flames coming out of the side of your head.
Well, you know, I think overall, if I had to rate my experiences at Harvest Hosts on a 9-point whatever schedule or 10.0 schedule or rating, I would have to give my overall experience at Harvest Hosts probably a 9.9. You know, I mean, we've had really great experiences at all of them.
We've never run into a bad situation.
All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. Again, we're on the road, so it's a little bit different from normal. We really appreciate your comments, your questions, your tips, your concerns. Please keep them coming our way.
Yeah, and as always, Russ has said before that when you send questions, sometimes we turn them into vlog topics, which is what we did today. So we thank you so much for that. You can always send more questions or ideas for future vlogs to theroadsweroam.com. Click on the contact section. We're also on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to check us out on iTunes and Spreaker. And please take a second to like. It helps us out more than you know.
Also hit subscribe.
Oh yeah, that too. All right, talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.